What is up, champs? Champion Trucker coming back at you with a new video, and take a look at this beautiful view up in the clouds. This is my very first vacation. I'm talking about very first real vacation that I have taken in probably 2 years. And I went to Puerto Rico to go see my family, and I had a heck of a time. This might be a 4-part series. We did quite a bit. What I regret was not kind of like doing the commentary. But anyway, look at this. I had a full row by myself all the way. I went on the second week of December. I was chilling. I was playing The Last Day on my phone. It's like a zombie RPG survival game. I thought it was cool. I got kind of tired of the game after a little bit. I had to keep on feeding the dogs. Who knew you had to feed dogs? Like, that's crazy. I thought they like don't need to eat. But here it is, beautiful Puerto Rico. We came in safe flight. I did survive, and I got the what is that called, the fin of the plane? I don't know. Let me know down in the comments below. But this is me finding my mom, struggling. I was just like, where are you? But I remember seeing this aeropuerto when I was a kid, man. And one thing that I really want to say is, like, I really wish that I spoke Spanish. I could have like did some lingo, talked to a chick, wouldn't been like, hey, hola chica, something like that. Probably get slapped. But hey, you know what? That's my grandfather and my mom leading the way. But my grandfather came an hour to the aeropuerto to see his grandson. Love my grandfather. I definitely had to get them something special later on for Christmas since it's so close. But our objective here is to find a coconut, a good coconut. But anyway, my mom's gonna take over here and tell you the food.
They have stuffed potatoes, and pincho, what we call pincho. I think it is.
I don't know what that is. Look at that fish. What is it?
Like, buenas. Tiene coco.
So we didn't get any coconuts here. So we went down to another shop that was
do you want one or not?
That was a little far down, so I had to walk that distance, and then I didn't want to pull Grandpa along with us and have to go so far. But he walked anyway. Walked all the way over there. He was just chilling, man.
No,
but I love these. These are empanadas. I can't remember.
Oh!
Yeah, I love it. I love empanadas. They're called something else, but they were good. Next spot, we pulled over to a beach area.
All right, the adventure begins with my coconut.
And I got my coconut, baby.
Phone in my hand.
Now, one thing that you see in the background of the waves, some locations don't usually have a bunch of waves like that, and it's because for some reason the winds, the water, it's acting different. And my mom is going to talk about a little bit how you have to be very careful when swimming out there, because you have to know how to actually swim. I'm not talking about like, oh, I can float. You gotta learn how to swim.
Oh, there's people over there.
See, because they're really, you can see. It's just the people that are outside the really strong there because they're very good to them.
Oh yeah, this is strong current.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and utter in, but what we're gonna be doing for this very first video is very basic. This is just me coming into Puerto Rico, going to Fajardo, being with my parents, and then we're gonna do an old San Juan tour. We're gonna get at least just the beginning of that, and then the next video we're gonna hop into the big stuff that we do. I'm talking about really exciting, love it. But this is me leaving my grandparents' house, and this is when I start implementing more of commentary.
All right, so my Uber is here. Let's see. They got really close and personal.
So we have about an hour drive ahead of us. So yeah, it was tough. to do that almost every day, driving an hour and a half. Even though I'm a truck driver in Puerto Rico, driving is something else.
I gotta ask this Uber a question.
I got my Uber.
Oh no, there's a dog.
There's dogs everywhere, stray dogs everywhere. Like you do not want to run into a pack, man.
You don't mind if I sit up here?
Let me think about it. Come on.
The Uber was like super duper in a rush. I was like, man. So we got.
All right.
I don't know why I scrunched my
right,
face
Mom.
like that.
Or I'm an Uber driver. Sorry. Oops. How does it feel? Or what do you think about Puerto Rico?
Puerto Rico, to me, is such a charming island. It's different. You know, you gotta be ready for more tropical. It's gonna be a little more congested on the streets, so the driving is, you gotta be careful, very, very careful. But it has a lot of different things that you can do, especially if you love nature.
Oh. All right. Yes. So this is the most expensive Uber I have to take. It's an hour and 30 minutes away that we're going. So yeah, it's not. It cost me like $300. So that would be crazy. It probably costs that much. Probably around $100 to get an hour and 30 minutes away. But we're going to Old San Juan. We're gonna go pick up my aunt, my mom's sister, and head over to that location.
All right, so that's my aunt on the right, my mom on the left. We went to Old San Juan doing a tour, and we walked around Old San Juan with the historical facts, as you guys will see. Shout out to my man right here. He even waved at the camera, but I wasn't recording. So I'm gonna let this play out. You guys can listen and learn a few things about Old San Juan if you ever want to visit.
Okay. In this tour, I believe we have a couple of people that speak Spanish. Para personas que necesitan que yo de la nada cambie a español, yo lo hago fácil. Okay. Entonces, pero el tour primordialmente va a ser en inglés. And right next to it, believe it or not, you have the first ever U.S. built school here. When the U.S. arrived to Puerto Rico, it was in 1898, but they started implementing the schools in 1906. In terms of that, that's the first ever school where English language is being put in Puerto Rico. They built us around 3,000 schools, but something that's very odd is that the first U.S. built school here is actually an acting school. So in terms of being right next to the first Puerto Rican theater, it's like a specialized thing. But no, in my 20 years of life, it's never been an acting school. It's been closed my entire life, but I know the history of it. Eso sí. But no, right next to it, you have the first ever Puerto Rican road. If you take this one road all the way down to Ponce, you'll reach the other side of the country in 1 hour and 30 minutes. Puerto Rico is very small. This road was built initially to connect the first two cities, which are San Juan, which covers the port that they have on the Atlantic Ocean, and then they had another port then in the Caribbean Sea, Ponce. If you guys go to Ponce at one point, it's a beautiful city as well. But it takes around 1 hour and 30 minutes, right? In terms of the city of Old San Juan, you're going to notice a pattern into that on the tour. We're going to be hopping on and off of the street. And first recommendation, if you get lost in Old San Juan, try to find your way back to La Fortaleza, to La Calle 1, and you're going to get back to wherever you were. All of the roads literally connect to this one road in Old San Juan, okay? Pero nada, aparte de eso, in terms of the political and religious and social aspirations in Puerto Rico, this is the most relevant street. At the end of the street, we have the House of the Governor, and right next to it, you also have the antique cathedral. So in terms of Catholic religion, you could argue that it's the most important street, right? And not only that, but in terms of the pressure that Puerto Ricans put into the government. For example, in 2019, this street was filled almost all the way up to the highway. There was an estimated 1.5 million Puerto Ricans on the street. So now, if you notice, that's very small. So it's very crazy that happened. Pero nada, we're not gonna get inside. I want you guys to notice the colors of the building. We're gonna be talking about that. Okay?
All right, so we walked down this street and it's absolutely beautiful. I love the colors, man. Off to the left, you got that greenish color, blue to the right, got another. It's just a lot of amazing colors that I really like about this street. And you can see that Puerto Rico has a very vibrant kind of tone to it, comparable to like my state or even states that I go to, like Ohio, West Virginia. I think West Virginia is pretty nice because they have the mountains, the hills, and all that stuff. Wow. But yeah, it was a very nice scenic view just to walk up that street and learn a whole bunch of details about Puerto Rico that my aunt that's lived there all her life didn't even know about. And then for myself to learn information that I just didn't know, period. So like I said, this portion of the vlog is very kind of slow. We're gonna pick it up in part 2, 3, and 4 if it need be. It might be 3 parts, it might be 4, it might be a whole lot more.
But I didn't know the fact that all the streets end here. So if you're lost, try to get to the Fortaleza and you're up.
Wow. So I'm gonna let the rest of this play out, and then we'll come and reconvene with my voiceover after we get more of the information that he provides.
Not a lot of free walking tours here. We brought it in. It's accessible information. Accessible and good information. So ahí.
Sí, son de nosotros.
Son de nosotros. Ah, okay. Okay, perfect. Okay. So, now we're officially inside the city, ¿verdad? We're gonna move inside this alleyway.
Oh,
we're
Lord.
gonna be talking about the Puerto Rican flag. The reason I'm gonna move it inside the alleyway is because there's a lot of cars passing by. Okay, so to hear the information better. Okay. Notice as we're walking up here, that the ventilation is getting better, and we're getting
I'm not sure if it's too loud for that.
So there's a restaurant that I think I cut out of this that's right behind where he's standing, and it's like a seafood restaurant. That's the one thing about Puerto Rico, such an assortment of foods that you just can't find in the States. And so I wish I ate a lot more than I did, but it was still a beautiful, nice experience. I ended up paying for a new TV for my grandparents, so that took out a lot of my budget. But I'm gonna go and let him talk about the Puerto Rico flag and how they changed it.
I'm trying to look here an image so you guys can see this flag.
Oh wow!
Un momentito. The original flag of Puerto Rico. We're going to talk about the history of it, ¿verdad? This flag was made in 1895, and it was made side by side with the Cuban.
All right, so unfortunately, guys, we're gonna have to cut it there. The video is going way too long. If you like what you saw and you want more, even more, I'm talking about it gets really fun, less kind of like touristy. We start doing horseback riding, kayaking, all this good stuff, and even more after that. Stick around. It was nice to have a vacation. It was so nice. There were things that I really wish that I captured, but I forgot my batteries of my GoPro in the backpack. I would have made a whole entire video of just him explaining the tour and everything like that, but I wasn't thinking at the time. But thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. And this is a truck driver going on vacation. I'll catch you guys in the part 2. Peace.